Welcome to the Morning Swim Show for Wednesday, October 12th, 2011. I'm your host, Peter Bush. In the Phoenix Monitor today, we'll talk to Charlie Kennedy. He's the head coach of the Suburban Seahawks Swim Club in Pennsylvania. Last week, they celebrated their return to their old pool after facing a lot of adversity in the past few years. Coach Kennedy joins us right now in the Phoenix Monitor from Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. Hey, Coach, welcome to the Morning Swim Show. How are you?
Great. How you doing?
Well, good. It must be nice to be back in the old pool.
Yes, we're happy to have a home once again. It's been it's been a kind of a tough 33 months, but we're delighted to be back.
All right. So just to give the quick history for people who don't know, your former board of directors pretty much scammed the team out of more than $100,000.
No, I think it was our business manager. What had happened was the board had shrunk. And basically, it was just a couple people, and essentially, our president she was actually at the hospital with her husband who was dying, and so she kind of turned a lot of the responsibility around to the business manager, and then he evidently embezzled the money and shut us down.
Whatever happened to him? Was he convicted?
Yes, he was, and I think he served a period of time in jail, and I think I believe he's in a halfway house at the moment. I haven't really followed it closely because my main focus obviously has been, on the kids and the team and the organization, to keep that going.
But they had to close down the pool because you didn't have the money to keep it open, and that became the challenge of the past 33 months.
Right. I actually came back from the Full National in December of 2008, and we just had a young lady win a title, and so we were pretty happy about that. And I got a call that the electricity was off in the building, so we couldn't have practice. And when I called, that's when I found out that the reason the electricity was off was because the electric bill hadn't been paid, and that was, I think it was a $45,000 bill. So that tells you it hadn't been paid in quite some time.
Okay, so you've got the power shut off. Your team is having success. Now you have no place to swim. What was the interim solution?
Well, a portion of the team, our senior team, was training over at Swarthmore College, and basically Swarthmore allowed us to move our entire team over there. And we've actually had a relationship with Swarthmore College since 1990, and in fact, our original building, which was built in 1959, was damaged in a blizzard in 1996. And we were displaced then, and Swarthmore came to the rescue. So you can imagine my amazement when I found us in the same situation again, because all I could think of was, haven't we done this already? But once again, thankfully, Coach Davis at Swarthmore and the athletic director, Adam Hers and Kristen Amberay, they said we could move our team over there. So that's what we did. And we got some additional help from Widener University and Jack Schaefer and Bob Piatti down there.
Well, good for you guys for having the perseverance to come out on the other end of what had to be a brutal 3 years. And this is a team with a lot of history. I mean, this is not a new team by any stretch. Peter Dalen, the Hall of Fame coach, he started this way back in the early 50s.
Yes. And I just couldn't imagine the team, disbanding. I just, in my heart, I didn't feel like that was an option. So I thought I had to at least, try my best and see what was available. I didn't actually know what was going to happen, but fortunately, as is often the case, you don't ever really do things by yourself. You always have to have help, and fortunately I had help from Swarthmore and Widener, so I was very fortunate.
And Brendan Hansen, one of your famous alum there at the club, he was actually there last week to help you guys with the welcome back ceremony.
Yes, he was, and it was marvelous to have Brendan back, and many of our kids now, this is probably their first opportunity to meet Brendan and see him face to face and experience him face to face. So I think it was a very exciting night for the youngsters, and I was delighted that he was able to come. He had a lot of very kind words to say about the program and myself, and then he actually got in and swam a relay with some of the younger kids, so that also was a big thrill. He signed some autographs, and again, it was just marvelous. He has a wonderful, positive energy about him, and I think that it was kind of the cherry on the cake of the day to have him come and give the keynote address.
What a thrill for those kids. And, you know, a very similar story in a way. I mean, if anybody has had a rough few years but now is succeeding once again, it's Brendan Hansen. So pretty appropriate that he came from your club and he was back for this ceremony.
Yeah, it was really a wonderful night.
Well, congratulations to you guys, Coach. Can you feel like, you know, you've got a fresh start and that the future looks bright for you guys?
I would say this, that, you know, I definitely am optimistic. I think, you know, moving back into the facility will present its own challenges, but I think in a good way. I mean, it isn't like we're scrambling for a place to swim. It's marvelous to actually have a home. We're very thankful to Bob Yashinura because it was really his efforts. He's one of our swim team parents who's had 3 kids come through the program. And in fact, his oldest daughter attended the trials in 2000, but it was really Bob's efforts with the bank that I think ultimately got us back in the building. So we're very thankful to him.
Well, it's a great historic swim club, and we're glad that the dark days are behind you.
Yes.
Well, Coach, good luck. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Take care.
That's Charlie Kennedy joining us from the Suburban Seahawks in Pennsylvania. That is it for today's show. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.